Welcome to the No Hangover podcast. You can find us on Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Google Play, SoundCloud. Don't know if I hit that one.
Also at nohangoverpodcast.com.
That is true. Didn't do that one. Check out the website. You can find the latest merch that Eric is wearing under that sweater. You just can't see it.
Sure.
Boom. Hope he doesn't take off the sweater.
I'm a little cold, so you know.
Anyways,
I'm kind of bare under this sweater, so I put it on.
You miss Bear already?
No, I'm a little bare.
No, I heard you. I'm saying, do you miss Bear already?
I always miss Bear at all times, really. When I'm not around him. That's my dog, by the way. Quite literally.
Quality pup.
He really is. He's adorable. Honestly, probably one of the cutest dogs ever. He's like 6 years old, still has a little puppy face.
Yeah,
and will look at you like with his little fucking elf ears.
He has
and
a
shit.
little face. He has a little head.
He does. He does have a little head. I actually have socks with his face on it, so I'm gonna wear those and then
in the near future.
Boom! My toes are out now, but
it's like ah.
But anyways, I'm Eric. If y'all didn't know, that's Jacob over there.
How you doing? And voice behind the camera.
Hello.
Boom! It's Dennis, the menace.
The director in the cut.
It is I. I'm here.
He is here.
But
we out here. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be looking over here. So what we got on the docket today, Dennis?
First things first. Some couple things from the last couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
One of the biggest things in the news right now, especially for topics that we discuss, music, pop culture, things like that. Unfortunate incident at ASTROWORLD.
Yes, very unfortunate.
Give you all a little background real quick.
Tragedy.
November 5th, crowd rush to the set during the Travis Scott performance aspect of the show. You know, brought out Drake, big surprise, big festival. This is a festival that had been on hold since COVID and everything, and the documentary that had come out surrounding this festival.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people were excited. A lot of people knew surprises were in store, and people got a little ahead of themselves. And, they're still doing the investigation to find out if they were just under security or too many people just rushed in, too many people were out of their minds. Drugs, liquor, a lot of mixed things, youth, and unfortunately 10 people have passed, 8 people the night of, 2 people have passed since then on the following days.
Due to injuries and such.
Really just tragic situation. You look at all the ages of the kids, you got like 8-year-olds that were injured and 14-year-olds that had passed, and it just sucks. So throwing it to you guys, how do you guys...
I will say this, to start with this, it's kind of, I feel like an ASTROWORLD festival is kind of an odd place for an 8-year-old kid. Just throwing that out there. I'm not saying, whatever. It is still unfortunate that happened, but I don't know if that's the best place for an 8-year-old.
I'd say the same. I personally believe it's the wrong setting.
For sure.
But for instance, I did, not to be insensitive, but I did watch some of the parents of the kids that were tragically killed, and one of the parents, for example, when they asked him that exact question, why would you think it's okay to bring an 8-year-old to a festival like this? And he was saying because, which is true. Now that the youth is so far into computers, I mean, you got to think about, what's the game? Just kidding. Fortnite. No. Come on. Thought you'd get that right off the bat. Well, Fortnite is a really big thing in fucking the youth, and Travis has his own skin and stuff in there and his own character, whatever. And
was the kid by himself, though, or the parents with him?
No, the parents were there.
Okay.
The parents were there, and they brought him because not only because he wanted to go because of Fortnite, but also it was he said, like him and his son had bonded through concerts and stuff like that before.
All right, that makes more sense.
So it was more like tragically wrong place, wrong time situation. Yeah. Because I've been to some sporting events in my life where you're just a little kid, or even going to the mall as a little kid. Yeah. You're in this giant place. It's a whole different world.
You're a tiny person amongst big
exactly.
people.
You're amongst giants. You're like, oh my god, you don't know what's going on. Yeah. And tragically, like Dennis was saying, all the surprises coming out. Yeah. Think about if you're like off your mind, drunk and something.
I feel like
in your youth, your early 20s, even up to 25.
There was a couple in there that were like 26,
Drake,
27 years old. 2 of them,
correct.
Some that were a little older, like our age. But given the whole how Travis Scott wants himself to be perceived, the persona he puts out there, like you put a 2-year hiatus on a festival like that, given everything that's been going on with COVID, people locked up, people like. You kind of we were already leading up to it amongst ourselves. We were like, that shit is going to be wild, out of control, and quite literally it got wild and out of control to the point where lives were lost. So it's not like these things haven't happened before, but to that level where
to that extent
the body count is in double digits now. where the lawsuits, like you said, is racking up to over $2 billion at this point.
I think it's sitting at $2 billion right now.
Yeah, there's a few going on right now. Class action lawsuits. A little legal background. Class action is that you sue.
Correct.
Everybody gets involved and creates one lawsuit so
Mm-hmm.
that people aren't suing for individual things. Travis, I think, is trying to circumvent this. When he put out that statement night of that he was going to pay for everybody's services or injuries.
He's been. I feel like he's been handling it as best as he can, given the situation. As far as
saying the right thing, staying out of the limelight, not doing stupid things.
For sure.
Being remorseful and shit and paying for everyone's shit. But what I did see this yesterday that they're probably going to drop Travis Scott's name from the lawsuit. So he's probably, as far as like his.
I'm sure his legal team has been freaking working night and day to figure out what they were going to do about this.
From some of the things I've seen on Twitter, and you might have been just about to say this, I don't think monetarily he was as involved as we're led to believe.
And that's what I was going to say is that
with
we don't know the legal, jargon on the contracts and all this shit to how much in control he was of being able to stop the show.
Feels more like a Live Nation thing.
Yeah, so they're going to get fucking the brunt of it. Yeah. Travis Scott just happened to be the performer.
Travis is just
but
the artist.
That being said, too, Drake,
he's the face of, a lot of these things. It's someone putting this event on. Travis didn't put this event together.
That is the perception.
He had
a
big
fans.
influence, I'm sure, but he didn't put this together.
Of course he has a big influence.
He's not the one hiring these people. He's not the one divvying up the money. There's teams that he's appointed probably. He's not hiring the security guards.
He puts his money into. He puts money into.
My only pushback against that is for guys that there's a couple rappers that do this, throw their own festival. Tyler, for instance, on his album, he goes, I hit Drake up and told him I had $1 million for him. So Drake, or if Tyler's paying for his individual artists, it's not out of the realm of possibility that Travis was the one.
I'm sure Travis is putting his own money into it. And I'm sure he.
Maybe getting artists, I would with that, but I'm talking about like from the ground up. Like he's not paying the the valet parkers to the parking lot workers to the security to.
That was the perception sold to us as fans that this was Travis's thing.
Yeah, and in the documentary he makes it. Even when he's going on tour and shit, when they're doing it in MSG and like you could tell like how involved he is in like. As far as like,
he's an artist.
Him putting his vision and his print on it, like the legal stuff. Again, we don't really know the contracts and all that shit, and what is in the fine print. But if they're dropping his name from the lawsuit, then they're going to attack Live Nation. Drake's name is probably going to be dropped from the lawsuit. So that's where Travis Scott, as far as that aspect, will be fine. My thing is that how he not. When he's going to put out music. I feel like if he puts out music anytime soon, it'll be fine. Is when he starts performing live again. How that's going to go like with, the security medics, are they going to put a max capacity on how many people can go into the show just given what happened because shit got out of hand real quick.
Is he going to have like mandates?
And just the nature of his show, the nature of his shows are very, wild, turn up, rage, get fucked up, and in a mosh pit if ain't no injuries. I got him stage diving at the nosebleeds, and she hit that booger sugar to her note. Like, that shit's fucking, it'll get you fucking lit. Like,
lyrics like that, and also what Sean does in the documentaries of him cursing out security, telling, like, he's like, don't tell fans not to turn up at a Travis Scott concert. Doesn't look good when the fans turn up and something bad happens. And he's already been arrested for inciting a riot before.
Yeah.
Like, thankfully, hopefully, it looks like the legal situation is done, with his cooperation with Houston police and fire trying to get all this done. But night of, it did not look good on his part.
No, like, as the story started coming in and as everything started coming in, it was like, yikes, it looks like this might be, like, devastating to his career.
Like, he fucked up.
Like, he might, but... Again, now that things have played out, it's been like 2 weeks now.
Yeah, it's been 16 days, yeah.
Everything's played out, and, we're seeing numbers. We're seeing as far as, who's getting sued, who's responsible for what. We've had, however many different talking heads come out. Like, it seems like Travis Scott financially and legally will be safe. Like, again, and for me, it's going to be how he recovers from it mentally and how he's going to move forward as far as, like, his shows moving forward. Like, is he going to be able to keep up that persona? Or he's going to have to tone it down or something.
Will he change, like, how he's perceived of the turn-up, like, crazy mosh pits? Or is he going to tone it down? Is he going to try to make, a different kind of music because of it?
Predictions?
I think
Gospel album?
No. I think he can, since he's, like, not naturally a rapper. Like he falls back, or he's like a producer. That's what his fallback is. Like that's his roots. I feel like even if the artist part of it, like the Travis Scott persona, doesn't really like take off how it was, or like keep on going on the recover, he still has the production to fall back on. Like he has that he's gonna be fine as far as making money and making music and shit like that. It's just how he's gonna be in the public eye and how much he's gonna want to be in the public eye, if at all. I think he'll come back eventually. Give it maybe 6 months to a year. I do think Utopia might be pushed. Probably is gonna be pushed back, but
probably
I don't really think as far as like it really all just in my eyes. It just depends how he recovers mentally from this.
Well, when it was first coming out, like you guys said, it looked real bad because people were trying to say, he was performing through people dying. He didn't care, shit like that. But at the same time, you got to think, like, how big ASTROWORLD is. Do you think he even saw that shit going on? I mean, you could say you saw an ambulance, but
he points out there's a clip on the app because Apple Music live streamed the entire thing. There's a clip where, unfortunately, one of the people who did end up, who was deceased, he points in that general direction. We can't tell for sure if it's that person, but he points in that general direction. He goes, hold up. They're passed out. They good? Put your hands up if you're good. And then he just keeps rocking.
But they show that. I mean, they show that in his shows in the documentary. They show that. I mean, that's what he's used to seeing. People fucking raging and passing out and just, bodies being carried like crowd surfing and shit. So I'm thinking in his head, he probably doesn't think anything else of it as of, this guy just fucking passed out or this chick just passed out or whatever, get him out and let's keep it going. He's not thinking that, this person's dead. Yeah, so it's like
being passed.
When you are.
Hopefully that didn't happen.
I mean, when you're, what's it called? When that's the type of show that you put on and that's what you're used to, like I said, he's probably not thinking twice about it. He'll stop, make sure everything's good, but, it's show must go on type shit.
You see Uzi's comments a few days ago?
Mm-mm.
He was at a concert and people were, cheering or trying to get his attention, alerting him to stop the show because some woman had passed out. And he made a comment to the extent of, I don't want to misquote him, so I'll look it up real quick, but essentially he was saying like, if you came to turn up, turn up.
Yeah,
if
I did see that.
If you're going to pass out or have a problem, like with me continuing my show, like leave.
Yeah.
I did see
That's
that.
all I'm saying, leave. If you're not trying to be here, then leave.
Right, something like that.
Which, I mean,
you got to.
I mean, I take it for what it is. People are going to be outraged by that, but like, you also have to understand, like,
this is their livelihood.
For me, artists are not like. That's what, and I've said this before. That's why I've always found it odd when people put artists and athletes on pedestals and shit because they're very great at something. That doesn't make them a fucking
They don't.
That's what they're dedicated to.
Like you said,
that's their livelihood. They're living in a different world that is not from everyone. That we're the world that we're living in. So. It's a different mindset that they have, and that's, they're doing it, like, to keep up that persona, and it gets to their head, like, this is what I have to do, like, fuck everything else.
It's just people in general. People have personas of not only themselves, but like we were talking last week, we only view a situation, I have a different view, and you have a different view. So, for instance, Lil Uzi is going to see himself in a different light than, I don't have to, care about these political things or this just happened. I'm not going to act any differently.
Yeah, the self-awareness is not there a lot.
Yeah.
For artists that are that big, especially a guy like Lil Uzi, musically I don't really like him, but I can't deny that his personality and his stardom is fucking, people praise the shit out of him. Mm-hmm. So he probably doesn't have a lot of people telling him, bro, you probably shouldn't do that, or like, check yourself real quick. He probably doesn't have a lot of people checking him.
What was the Uzi quote?
The exact quote is, I don't take no breaks. If it's getting bad, leave. If you ain't going to leave, stay.
Yeah, see, that's a little tone deaf, but again,
it's a little insensitive, but at the same time,
just at the next festival, because Day in Vegas was the next festival,
and Travis Scott was supposed to be there and shit.
Kendrick ended up performing. I believe somebody else dropped out, but it was just like a festival where people were on high alert, and Uzi said what he said.
Yeah, again, tone deaf. Probably not the smartest thing to say
but I'm sure
at the
they
time, but
had amped up security by then. They probably made it a little more difficult for even the artists themselves on like what they're normally used to. They probably had to do something a certain way. The crowd probably wasn't able to come as close. And to have somebody like Uzi, he's a big ass performer too. Like people get fucking rowdy at his shit.
I mean, he's in that generation.
I wouldn't say not as crazy as Travis, of course, and he doesn't tell people to mosh like that. But his music is definitely like that.
Wasn't he the one that fucking climbed up that fucking
He didn't have
thing?
big stage
Yeah,
dive.
and then jumped like from like 20, 30 feet up in the air.
He's a little guy.
Yeah, but still, I mean
that's
160.
He went flying.
That's 160 pounds flying from you.
There's no way he weighs 160 pounds.
What, 5'5", 5'6"?
150.
Max, I'm giving him like 140. Nah, he's light.
If someone threw a 100-pound dumbbell at your head,
I get it. No, I get that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
That's just gonna fucking hurt.
Tiny guy.
Yeah.
Yes. No. Either way, yes. A body coming at you is a body coming at you.
He comes from that generation, that SoundCloud generation of fucking raging, and Travis Scott, which was like probably 2 years before that SoundCloud shit, is kind of like
Travis is like the godfather.
Yeah, he is like the pioneer of that shit, of fucking rage and turn up, and SoundCloud rappers kind of took that and ran with it, and you were able to do that with SoundCloud rapping because a lot of SoundCloud rapping is more persona than actually rapping and shit like that. If you can keep up that persona, then people are going to fuck with you.
A lot of those people were never doing shows before that era came along.
Mm-hmm.
It's like artists that got created basically through SoundCloud, and bam. Now these people are performing. You're like, what?
Yeah, I mean, fuck,
what?
That's the world we live in. But I don't
Uzi's hard. I fuck with Uzi.
I don't. I think he's not good. I think he's a great personality. I think he's
got a lot of all of his music.
I think he's got a lot of charisma and a lot of, you know, what's that? Colin Cowherd says it, quarterback face, but like for a rapper, like he's got like a very like strong definitions in his facial features, so it kind of makes you gravitate towards him and shit.
He's marketable. He's like not in the sense of like, I don't know. People are gonna be attracted to people like that. Like,
he's not.
He has the look.
He has. Yeah. He's for whatever. He's a good looking guy. He's got the face. He's got the personality. When you add that all together, that shit you can market that shit, and it just depends.
Rock star.
Yeah, it just depends how, and you know, it helps that he, you know, the viral moments of I've only been here for 3 days. I don't know, like shit like that.
He is a walking meme for sure.
Yeah, that shit fucking helps out.
I lost.
Yeah, with the fucking, he's dressed like Carlton and shit. Like
he's holding the football.
Yeah,
well, I lost.
They got plenty of moments.
Like I don't like his music
him jumping
that much.
around behind his security.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
He's a walking meme.
And that's all it is at this point.
Very marketable.
I've said this before. Music more nowadays, it's like, you know, you don't have to be the most talented. You just have to have a personality. If you can sell that, then you don't have to make the best music.
The relevant people are going to be the most popular people, are going to be the most listened to people, just because of their shit.
Playboy Cardi's another one. I think he fucking sucks ass.
I think he has bright moments.
But he has moments. He has that persona. He has that kind of like
all day, every day.
He kind of has that.
He's
in the limelight, but he still kind of has that like mysterious in the shadows, like demonic type shit. So people are like, oh my god, like what the fuck, like Playboy Cardi and shit. And it's just like
he's not TMZ'd out yet to where like we all know like
exactly
where it's all
living. Yeah, it's where it's all fucking
a famous baby mama, and he doesn't. And still, they don't know about
the biggest like point too for that is like The Weeknd, when The Weeknd made the switch of like I am a pop star now.
Yeah. Me and Jordan were actually talking about that the other day, because her kind of has that.
Her was like the female Prince. It was like this very, what is she? She's she's Gabby, whatever her real name is.
Yeah, but she
was
broke
like a music prodigy when she was like 13.
But she broke out of that mysterious kind of facade pretty early.
Very early.
Yeah, because for whatever reason. But we were talking about it because The Weeknd had it. But I feel like it took him a lot longer to break out of that, because he did his mixtapes.
He chose to take that time though.
Yeah. But kind of, because Kissland didn't really hit the way that if Kissland would have, if the trajectory would have, because he had his 3 mixtapes, then he put them together for the trilogy, and once Kissland came out, he dropped a little bit.
The Drake look helped.
Yeah, but once Kissland came out, he dropped a little bit, and then Beauty Behind the Madness kind of put him back up into that.
Beauty Behind the Madness, he was a pop star. He had signed the Apple deal before the album came out, and he had The Hills.
But he was still kind of in.
He had earned it.
He was still in that light of, because like the 50 Shades of Grey shit is still kind of that fucking mysterious shit.
Like
but then
in the shadows, like
that kind of put him in the, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna continue to put?
Are you talking about like his like persona?
His persona. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because he had it.
Yeah. At that point,
we're not talking about the music.
Beauty Behind the Madness was that point where it's like you're either going to continue to do what you're doing and ride that line, or you're just going to break out into full pop star. And he broke out into full pop star.
Can't Feel My Face was the start.
Mm-hmm. And then fucking after that, Starboy. Once Starboy came out, like
it was over. He literally kills.
Yeah.
The
if you had
persona.
if you had any like
doubts
or anything like that
of
what he was trying to do. That
Living
killed it.
Like,
rock. That was
because he also had not done an interview yet, and then before Starboy he did the Zane Lowe.
That one actually really good.
And it was, and they had hyped it up like this is the Weeknd's first interview and like or first video interview. He might have like given quotes to like Rolling Stone or something.
But because remember he used to even like way back before he was ever even pictured. Like nobody had a picture of him. Nobody really looked.
I mean, you had like you had
the YouTube from the trilogy. Like people knew
by that point. I'm saying, but even when his first mixtape dropped,
House of Balloons, he had Wicked games on there.
And I didn't see him his whole first mixtape. I did not know what he looked like at all. I never saw like a picture of him.
No, I mean he puts. I mean
I knew his music, but I didn't know what he looked like.
He puts the videos out and shit. You can see him, but like it's not really like. You don't put. There was no context to like what his personality was, what his background story was, where he really came from. Like people knew that Drake heard of him on whatever, and he was working with Drake and shit. But like besides that, you didn't really know much about the Weeknd.
OVO boys.
Because we were listening to that when it was just on YouTube. Like you couldn't get the trilogy before.
Yeah, I mean, he did that well. But again, it's all. I mean, a lot of what music is now is what your persona is, and like what you're trying to. Exactly, and how you're trying to market yourself. Like, again, you don't really have to be the best artist. You don't have to be the most lyrical. You don't have to be the most talented. But if you have personality, that's really all you need, and we can get people to do the rest for you.
Once they can market you.
I mean, speaking of Drake.
Yeah, I was about to say, we have any more on this topic? Can we move on?
Yeah.
Go on.
Where do we want to go for first? 10-year anniversary or the upcoming concert?
We can do the 10-year anniversary.
10-year anniversary. So, November 2011. Take Care.
The day that changed our lives forever.
Man,
not
changed our lives,
but a phenomenal.
I do have some memories attached to that. That definitely does take me back to
it was a key point in time for a lot of people.
Yeah. I was going through my first real breakup, and listening to that shit, going through your first real breakup, it's like
literally when the album starts, like when you hear "Over My Dead Body" and "Shot for Me," I think like he keys on
Take a Shot.
That is the start of a Drake album.
Yep,
those two songs.
Yeah,
it's like the braggadocious intro, like I rap better than you. But like, here's what we're talking about.
I'm in pain.
Lays the blueprint, and then "Shot for Me."
The whole time.
Punch to the heart.
I'm in pain.
Fuck. Let's see the order. I need to.
I'm bringing it up right now.
Yeah, he just hit the first two. I got it right there for you.
Headlines, I believe, is 3.
Yep.
Headlines. That was the first single, right?
Headlines was the first single. It took place in Toronto Stadium.
Yep.
Sky Dome, is that what it's called?
Where the Blue Jays play.
Yeah, Sky Dome.
Crew Love is 4. Take Care is 5.
Buried Alive interlude, which I fucking despise Kendrick Lamar's little stuttering shit on there. Once he starts rapping, I like it.
You're incorrect.
But the whole stuttering shit, I don't know what it is. That shit drives me fucking crazy.
Kendrick's a character, man.
Underground Kings is 8. We'll be fine.
Production-wise, it's 40 throughout with 3 T- beats, like with 2 with 40, 1 by himself. Just Blaze obviously does Lord Knows pretty famously.
Yeah, Just Blaze.
And then The Weeknd on the ride.
Gave his whole fucking
Crew Love.
Yeah, I mean The Weeknd gave.
You listen to those, and we have the original versions of those songs. Yeah. You listen to those. I mean, The Weeknd literally, like you were saying, hands him.
Yeah, I mean, and The Weeknd talks about it too. He talks about like how like. Oh shit! Like how he is with Drake, and he's like feeling like the moment is like, this is my moment. I'm just gonna give him whatever the fuck he wants, because Drake at that point, I mean,
Drake was fucking.
I mean, he was untouchable at that. I mean,
he
was getting to that. That was still his ascent, but he was already so close that it was like.
I think it's deeper rooted than that. Like The Weeknd's also from Toronto.
Yeah. No, it was.
And
it was putting.
Toronto looks
it was
at Drake
putting them on
at that time.
That's how The Weeknd looked at it. It was putting. It wasn't, it's not U.S. shit. It's putting Canada on. Like, you're putting your country on.
And then
The Weeknd knew of how big of an artist he was going to be, but he needed somebody in his, in his corner that's just as big, if not bigger, which Drake is still bigger.
Yeah.
But he needed somebody like that to help him succeed.
Well, at that point, too, because Drake was already established.
I still think Drake will forever be bigger than The Weeknd.
Maybe.
Sure. The Weeknd can perform pop hits forever.
Yeah.
Rap has never shown, other than Jay-Z, where you can rap forever.
But Drake can rap in different forms.
Sure.
I don't know. That's tough because it's stylistically. He
switches his flow.
Stylistically,
I won't be shocked.
He'll
if Drake's
forever
still
be
making hits when I'm 80.
Correct. He'll forever be on something that's hot. So. What
was
hot? Latin, Spanish music. Who's he on a song with? Bad Bunny. Like Drake is always that guy to.
He's usually a step or two ahead of everyone else. But the thing is, It catches up.
That's what he's good at.
I don't know if he's a step or two ahead. He's very good at taking the wave that's about to be popular as fuck and doing a song on it.
Yep. A step or two ahead.
But
it's about to be. I mean, it's not yet.
He's not a trendsetter the way like.
No, I wouldn't say he's a trendsetter.
Geniuses are.
No, but I would definitely say that
I would argue that makes him a genius.
He's able to
not have to put in that work, but stay that relevant.
He's able to spot it before, like as it's kind of like simmering, and then take it to the next level because of who he is.
He points a lot of that out to. He gives credit to a lot of that about the team around him. Like I know Oliver and who's the other one? Not 40, but like people around him, like
Chubbs.
Like bring him music.
Yeah.
Like this is the music of the like.
That's what they're bumping right now.
Yeah, like, and then he.
I mean, anyone who says that does it by themselves is full of shit. So
yeah, nobody.
This is a team effort.
No doubt. But definitely one of his better albums.
Family
that shit
things.
definitely. Like I said, for me, I was going through my first real breakup, so there's a couple songs on there that fucking hit differently when I listen to them, but.
There's shots that still hit differently.
Fucking
or their songs,
Lord Knows. And
Lord Knows is different.
Lord Knows and The Ride are probably the two best songs on there.
The Ride is a top 10 Drake song to me.
And the one thing that I will always fucking take away from this album is that I Hate Sleeping Alone is one of my favorite songs, and like that shit reminds me of you and that person's relationship to a fucking T. And I went back and listened to it after you said that. I'm like, yeah, just a little bit. So that shit.
He said it reminded him
we were
of you.
We were standing in front of the weight room one day, like before football class, and I broke Eric for a second. He was like, "Fuck you."
That shit, and then I went back and listened. I'm like, yeah, well, he's kind of right, but fuck, yeah, that shit. I mean, he was kind of
you're ahead of your time.
He was there when I was going through it, so he was eyewitness to my heartbreak and shit. So,
in retrospect, the Real Her Andre 3000 verse
is a fucking great.
Is maybe one of the best verses of the
Real Her. That's one of the songs that fucking I would go back to and be like, oh my god, I miss you.
Little Wayne's problems or Little Wayne's verses is okay. I have
the thing with Little Wayne is that like, and we've talked about this, he can bar you to fucking death, but
he raps really well.
There's not a lot of
nothing.
Yeah, there's not a lot of substance. So when you put him on a song like that, where it's full of fucking like emotion and substance and like making you feel shit, it's like
his
Lil Wayne. Like, well, it doesn't miss. It just kind of seems a little out of place. Just a little out of place.
This is beside the point.
Kind of, but
Did you know that album is 80 minutes?
It
might be Drake's longest album.
Just because I checked.
All Views is 20 songs.
I had scrolled down.
Hell yeah, fucking right.
It's an hour and 20 songs, an hour and 27 minutes.
Yeah, that's the deluxe version we have, yeah.
We'll be fine. Yeah, this is a great album. We definitely got to sit down and go more in depth about this one of these days.
Yes.
Let's do it. 10-year anniversary. All right. Sure. Speaking of Drake, well, it's over, guys.
I knew you would be the happiest about this.
The beef is over.
The beef is over. In the most completely see-through.
Dennis can breathe again.
All right, we'll get into that. In the most see-through fucking the fakest beef ever that everyone said was to sell both of their albums.
Boom. And it worked.
I mean, they've been beefing for a while.
I think this got patched up a year or two ago. I think like 2019 this got patched up.
When Kiki came out?
That's 18. That's summer of 2018.
Oh, you're right. That's right. So, what, a year after that?
Does Kiki love you?
My nickname is actually Kiki to my dad's side of the family.
Okay. Moving on.
Fun fact,
please. My tongue almost slipped. I think. Had to roll it back.
I think that they've been fine. I think that the benefit concert's really cool. That they're doing this. It's odd that it's not in Chicago.
What songs are? I mean, are they just?
They're not doing. It's not. I think they're just gonna go like song for song or
like a versus type shit.
Because it's Ye is the headliner and Drake is opening up. Is how it's built.
Wow.
Because it
should just perform together the whole time.
But they don't have a lot of songs.
They have
together.
blessings.
Together,
all of the lights.
But they, damn well they both know each other's songs. Though
they do.
They could like just rap their own song, perform their own song with Ye or Drake.
You're
just in the back,
building a lot
chilling.
more into that than a one benefit concert thing.
Yeah.
Like if they did a tour, I'm with you. Like. Because then
I guess if they go 1-1 and they're just bumping each other's shit. You could get really
creative with Ye on the 808 machine.
Yeah, because he does a lot of, he's done more Drake's beats than he's been actually featured and doing verses on Drake shit.
Yeah.
So I mean, you could do it like that and like mix shit differently and kind of like
find your love.
Yeah, but like as far as them performing together, they don't have a lot of songs where they're both rapping on the songs together.
I didn't necessarily mean them together on it, but like, say for example,
have them on stage together.
Yeah, just they're on the same stage, and
I think
Kanye will, Ye will have his own song, his own part, and you just see Drake vibing to it.
I'm sure it will probably be vice versa. It will probably be something like that, but like, I mean,
and I would just go 1, 1, 1, 1, all the way through, just because they're that big of artists that people are coming to see both of them, not just one or the other.
It was very interesting to me that this was a Ye show with Drake,
because Ye probably was like, "Hey,"
it's also his touring company. Like,
Ye probably was
putting it
correct,
together.
and Ye was probably like, "Drake, would you want to come?" And Drake's like, "Sure." That's how
Drake has to be fucking benefiting it in some way, though. Like,
I'm
bigger than what we're seeing.
It's not a financial gain. Like, not. I mean, I'm sure it is a financial gain, but I'm saying like
it'll both get plays.
There's some type of deal behind the scenes or something.
They'll both
like
get more money in their pocket from the plays they get.
Them patching this up allows is for both of these albums to breathe without everyone doing. Because what have we done for fucking 6 weeks?
The verses.
Everyone has compared this album to, like, you can't have a conversation without being someone asking, well, is it better than?
Yeah.
Or what did you think about this then?
Yeah, like, I think this allows like Donda to go on tour and then Certified Lover Boy to go on tour, and I would like if they just did the tour together.
That would be probably pretty lit.
Those prices for tickets would be insane.
Bananas.
But
bananas. But, I don't think that'll ever happen, though.
This beef was stupid. Nobody won.
If they were good on tour together, they probably would only do like 10 shows, though. I don't think they would do any more than like 10.
Wouldn't have to.
They're doing stadium tours. Watch the Throne did a tour.
Yeah, but they have songs together.
They had an album
together. So it's easier to do a tour
mean,
with that than it is to get two different artists that are pushing two different albums.
Funny you brought that up. On Rory and Maul's podcast, I don't know if you guys listen to them. It's not for everybody. Two former people of the Joe Budden podcast. They talked about how they had been making music together during COVID. That they had like...
Oh, Drake and Kanye?
Drake and Kanye had been going to each other's houses.
Joint album coming out. They're going to drop it on their...
They did the Billboard thing, remember, a couple years ago. The Calabasas is the new Abu Dhabi. Yeah. With both of the OVO and the Good Music logo.
They're going to drop it.
Could you see a gospel, R&B, rap... Because Donda is not a gospel album.
No.
And I don't like when people put that tag on it. Like,
no.
It is a great rap album that is about his relationship with faith. But not.
Donda's more, to me, it was more just a collection of Kanye's songs.
Ideas
and, like, there really wasn't, like, it really wasn't anything cohesive. Like, it was a lot of good music in there, but, like, the people that were hating on it, I feel like were looking for something that was going to be more flowing together and shit like that. And it's just, like, it was just a lot of Kanye songs put together, and he just, here, take it.
There's some cohesion, but I agree with you. Like, I just liked that every song was a complete idea, and he got to sit with this album.
Correct.
This is the longest I think he's ever worked on an album.
Yeah.
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
To the fucking last minute, too, to every second that he can take out of it.
Speaking of somebody who went to them, they were fucking changing it in the stadium. While we were waiting outside, you heard in the stadium them testing the music, going back, changing things, changing, like, the mixes and stuff. So when they like say like it was like last minute, like Justin LeBoy put out that thing of like nobody else can send an album to Apple an hour before midnight and get it put out. Like, that's
the power of Kanye. He is a powerful man, and
he probably had the CEO of Apple just sitting there like fuck.
Tim Cook.
He's probably at his desk like, you motherfucker.
Well, CEO of Apple Music, it used to be Jimmy Iovine.
Really?
Used to be.
Who is it now? Is Tim Cook?
No, Tim Cook's the CEO of Apple.
Oh.
Zane Lowe, I think, is like the executive producer of Apple Music.
Damn, he's got a pull like that.
Zane Lowe's. Have you gone to like the Apple Music Explorers page?
Yeah,
it's all Zane Lowe.
I know he does a lot of the interviews and shit, but I know he had like power like that with Apple.
In the documentary, the Defiant Ones,
he's big dog.
Where it's about Dre and Jimmy Iovine and their lives, and then the last part is Apple acquiring Beats. Zane is all in the behind the scenes meetings with all that.
Good for him. Good for him.
Because he was production executive producer at the BBC. Because remember he had all those. Remember he had the. All right, the British Broadcasting Channel.
That fucking hate you, bro.
That's getting cut.
Couldn't help myself.
You should leave it. Let's show people this idiot.
When Zane Lowe had all the iconic interviews, like he had Ye, Jay, Eminem for those 2013 albums, I think that really put Zane Lowe in
Wow, good for fucking Zane Lowe. Good for him. He does give a good interview, though. I will say
he gets a lot of that.
He gives a fantastic interview. And usually it's because in the setting that like the one that he did for Tyler the Creator, I think it was for Flower
Where they're
Boy.
like on the steps and he's just
where they're outside just fucking chopping it up in like some fucking botanical garden, just fucking talking about shit. I was like, wow, this is really visually it was really nice. Like it was a good interview, but it's like it was just easy to look at.
The Wyoming one for Jesus is King,
and they're fucking sitting on the fucking
in a house on a ranch, and you just see like sheep walking by. Them.
Yeah, a lot of his interviews are very aesthetically pleasing.
The Weekend one puts me to sleep. That's
in the studio.
That's a good one. I fall asleep to. Like,
but the Starboy one when they're in the studio and shit.
Black.
I mean, he gives great interviews.
He's got an Adele one I got to check out.
Adele. They did not Zane Lowe, but they did put the Silk Sonic interview. I forget. I think it was E-Boy that did it on
Ebro.
Ebro that did it on Apple Music.
Ebro does the New York stuff.
Yeah. So that was a pretty good interview too.
But they're both LA people. It's weird.
He got it. He said that he wanted it. So he said, in the beginning of the interview, he said, when I heard that you guys are putting this out, usually I'll lay back, but like this one, I'm like, nah, I want this one, so I'm getting it.
Oh, did he say that?
Yeah, he said in the beginning of the interview. So it's like,
cool.
so.
When I got it.
But it was, that was a great interview too, so. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see this show and how and what plays out as far as like Drake and Kanye saga after their show and what they're going to do as far as like
cuz neither one bowed down to each other. I don't think anyone comes like out of this looking like Drake's a punk or Ye's a punk for doing this.
And that's the thing. That's why it kind of seems like it was kind of a little fabricated, a little staged. And that's also why I think the Big Sean thing, like when he said that Big Sean, like he just dropped that album with, who was it? Hit Boy?
Hit Boy did the produce.
So it's kind of like
Detroit 2.
Yeah, you kind of no, not Detroit 2. The mixtape that he just put out with.
My bad.
I forget what it's called, but where they're breaking the fucking.
That was all Hit Boy though.
Yeah. So it kind of like it was 2 weeks after that shit dropped that he said that Big Sean was the worst thing that he's ever fucking done.
Big Sean was also at Sunday service in LA 3 days after they recorded the interview. Not 3 days after it dropped, but 3 days after they recorded it.
So like,
then Big Sean was on Twitter like, you didn't say any of this to my face. Can't wait to do Drink Champs. Like,
yeah, that shit. To me, like rap is becoming more and more
WWE.
Yeah. Real shit. Like
none of that is real.
Yeah, it's becoming just like, let me say your name real quick so I can push your album and get you numbers and then boom.
And Ye says that in the interview, in the Drink Champs interview. I know have you not checked it out completely?
I haven't watched the full episode.
He was like when the whole him and Drake back and forth was going down. He goes, none of us are going to do anything. We're professional rappers.
Yeah, real shit.
He's like, we're not street dudes. Like
we
are professional rappers.
Like millions.
And when he used the term professional rapper, like he was like very not so subtly saying like, this is a facade. Like
this ain't real. None of this is real.
Like especially to someone like those two, like rap might be their third biggest avenue
at this point.
Money.
Yeah. Which I mean, I know that probably breaks a lot of people's hearts and shit, but
the purity aspect of it. But those days are gone.
That's long gone.
I think
we're in 2021,
it's
baby.
Upcoming.
2022.
Only the upcoming.
The day that pure music, like in rap, died, unfortunately enough, is like when you found out people weren't writing their own stuff.
Yeah, ghostwriting and shit. But I mean, that's been going on for over 10 years.
Yeah,
now.
Nas wrote Will Smith stuff.
Yeah.
Like
the thing is that back then though, you really had to keep that shit under wraps.
It was a ghost writer.
Like you were really gonna get fucking crucified and like shunned out of the game if people really found out that you weren't writing your own shit. Now it's like,
Puff might have changed it.
Good point.
Because everyone knew like Puff's not a rapper.
Yeah.
Like,
that's a good point. But hey, fuck it. Again, a lot of it is just if you can fucking fake it. If you fake it and you're good at faking it and you got the personality, boom. You make the money.
Faking it.
Hey, but that's the world we live in. Fake it till you make it, and then you keep on faking it until they fucking catch you, and then you keep on faking it some more
until you make it.
It's all.
I've said it plenty of
times.
All
political at this point.
I can't talk shit because I've definitely said it 1,000 times in my life. Fake it till you make it, but I say now. Damn it, I've learned some more.
I mean,
there's times where the purity of music shines through.
For
like,
sure.
Like Silk Sonic is definitely commercial, and it's definitely like a we are selling this album, and we know that we are selling this album, and let's make the hits.
But the music aspect,
they decided to sit down because they like each other musically.
Yeah, like the music aspect of it and the layers
genuine
behind
idea.
it.
Anderson .Paak is not the. No offense to Anderson .Paak. And Anderson .Paak is not the commodity where Bruno Mars is like, I need my name attached.
Oh fuck no! Anderson .Paak definitely benefited more from Bruno Mars.
He made him a star.
Yeah, Bruno Mars was already solidified at this point.
He's a legend.
Yeah, whether you feel like because I was also on the train of like he doesn't put out enough music. He is great, but I wish
his last album was 2016.
Yeah, so I wish he would put out great music, like more music. But that he was already solidified, and this is more helping out Anderson .Paak than Anderson .Paak helping out Bruno Mars. Like that was clear as day.
I do like it feels like this year because we talked about the end of 2020. You know, we had made our predictions for music and who was going to drop and who wasn't.
They should have lived up.
This year, I mean, a lot of it came down to like we're on month 11, but it felt like all the heavy hitters except for Kendrick, but it's coming.
Yeah, Kendrick's going to drop January 1st.
He announced it that day in Vegas. He was like, "It's coming.
January 1st.
I'll be here soon.
Just wait on it.
Yeah, just
wait on it.
Be patient, guys.
Guarantee.
But
January
like,
1st.
We got Drake. We got Ye. We got Adele.
We got the Migos.
We got Bruno Mars. We did
get Bruno Mars. Yep.
We didn't get Rihanna or Beyonce, but we got Adele.
Baby King.
We got Billie Eilish. Like we got the heavy hitters came out.
Taylor Swift for all you Swifties out there.
She put out 2 albums. She put out Red, came out a couple last week.
Mm-hmm. For all you Swift fans, you have one in this room.
Are you a Taylor Swift fan?
I fuck the label. Like she should go be able to make her money. I'm not a fan of her musically.
All right, fair enough.
It doesn't speak to me.
Fair enough. It doesn't speak to me either.
I wish her all the best in getting her masters.
I will be asleep if you play it.
Yeah, Taylor Swift is not good to me. But hey, people like her, so.
Yeah, I'm done hating.
Oh, The Weeknd dropped fucking
a deluxe, but
yeah, he's been relevant.
And he did the Super Bowl. Like he had a great year.
Yeah. He did
Super Bowl performance was.
I still think it was fucking phenomenal. I know people think it's not as great, but for whatever reason, when I was watching, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Like for whatever reason,
I thought it was
real good.
I think since Jay has taken over, I thought speaking for me, I know for conversations I've had with a lot of like Latin people and a lot of Latin women enjoyed the Shakira J-Lo.
Shakira,
like putting those
shit
two.
On J-Lo.
I'm not comparing.
I didn't even fucking watch
it. You don't have to compare it.
I'm not.
Anyone who watched it knows Shakira killed that.
I'm just saying, putting those two Latin women on stage, like and Bad Bunny, J Balvin came on stage,
and shaking ass.
Like it was Miami shined. Like
they did. Yeah, they did.
Like Latin culture got to win for the Super Bowl.
They did.
Good for them. They aged like
Jay-Z's 2 for 2, and I think this one with the lineup he has is
that's just gonna be fucking.
There's no way it fails. Yeah. Like it's no way it's like this sucks.
Yeah, no one's gonna be boo. Yeah, that shit is gonna.
You got Dre, Snoop, Mary J, Eminem, Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, that's a hell of a fucking lineup. The only one that kind of I don't know, like
Mary J. How does she fit?
One
in the beginning.
Well, she doesn't have songs with them.
No, but she could. You could use her voice. You can use her voice on a lot of shit. She could do the chorus, like all of Skylar Grey stuff. Yeah, she could do that shit. The one that like I don't know why. I just like I love Snoop Dogg, but like for whatever he's just like I don't know. He's really super like kind of hit or miss for me. Like I either really like his shit or I'm just like it's just super corny and super cheesy.
Well, he's gonna do Still DRE.
Yeah.
He's gonna do.
I hope he does Sexual Eruption.
He's not gonna do that.
That's my shit.
He's gonna.
He won't, but that would be fucking.
I think
lit.
He's gonna do a medley of like Drop It Like It's Hot. He's gonna do the hits.
He's gonna do his hits. So, hey, for the edited version, Sensual Eruption is gonna. He might fuck.
It'll be in the medley. It'll be like 10 seconds of it.
That
like
would
when the Weeknd started just running through hits.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, but it's definitely gonna be good.
That is a flex when musicians get to do that at the Super Bowl. It's like, oh, you forgot how many hits I did. Like even when Big Boy got to do the Super Bowl with Maroon 5 and Travis.
Travis Scott only had like a 2-second part. It was like the beginning of
most of it was SpongeBob flying into the atmosphere.
Yeah, and then he like showed up on stage for like 2 seconds, and then they
did the first half of Sicko Mode. Left, did Goosebumps.
I think he only did the first half of Sicko Mode if I remember it correctly, and that was it.
That's not a good look then.
Buggy.
I mean, he did the Super Bowl, so it's a good look no matter what. But
he was getting that schmunz.
Boom.
Bogan schmunz.
Bogan schmunz and schmunz.
But I keep yawning.
Because you're tired.
So I'm going to say...
we got nothing left?
Not this week, folks.
I think that we'll wrap it up for this week. But hey, I mean,
a little short and sweet episode. For
yeah,
you guys.
fucking trying new things. Dennis will be more of a what's the word I'm looking
mainstay?
for? There,
a staple.
A mainstay was the word I was looking for. Thank you. More of a mainstay as far as, helping us introduce topics, helping it, clean it up for us, keeping us on track and shit like that. So look out for that.
The camera will be on him soon too. So
we will be fucking updating.
Check him out in Sunday Best.
We'll be updating the set a little bit. So just keep out keep looking out for new things.
Very big improvements to come. This is just the first step of kind of working the kinks out, but
for sure. So with that being said. Thank you for tuning in. Catch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play, YouTube for the visuals so you can see our beautiful faces.
Bow.
Check out our website, nohangoverpodcast.com.
Buy a shirt.
Where can they find us, E?
Instagram at No Hangover Podcast. I guess we would mention Twitter, but I wouldn't.
No Hangover Pod.
Yeah, don't even go there because
Instagram.
Unless you want to be in a Twitter war with Dennis.
But Instagram is the best way to get in contact with us, DM us, comment, questions, concerns. If you got ideas, if you want to link up with us so we can get you on the podcast, if you want to do some business with us, all that good shit, then let us know.
If you want to be promoted in any way,
that too.
We got a pretty big wall to
all
throw
business
a brand
inquiries on. Hit the DMs.
Facts. There you go. And as always, everybody love everybody, and we will see you guys next week.